Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. PREG is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. A woman done left, took all the reason.
Okay, so this is We Should Be Better at This. My name is Chris Donovan.
And my name was and always will be Eric Leckie.
How come I can't get the microphone stand to work properly?
I don't know. You're not really a professional.
What's going on here? I'm not a professional.
You're not a professional.
No,
technically, right now. Technically, right now, you're not a professional.
I'm not a professional. No, I'd rather be an amateur and really good than a professional and shitty.
So this time, I think your song's quite appropriate. Take this job and shove it.
Yes.
Is there any meaning behind that?
No, not at all.
No, just a random song you picked?
Just a random song.
Random song you picked. Well, I really like it. Take this job and shove it. I ain't a workin' a here no more is how the lyrics go.
Is that how it goes?
That is how the lyrics go.
I've never heard anything past the chorus.
Yeah.
Take this job and shove it.
I ain't a workin' a here no more. It's very appropriate lyrics.
It is very appropriate,
Yes.
Especially for Southern California if you see that commute right there.
Yeah.
We are at the Holiday Inn in Diamond Bar.
Yeah. What song had Holiday in it? Holiday Inn.
It was called Holiday Inn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
You are white.
We're at the Holiday Inn and Diamond Bar, where the 57, the 60 meet in beautiful Diamond Bar.
Yeah, that's the air quality is shit. The freeways are shit.
Here's what's funny. You just said the air quality is shit. That green building right there is the Air Quality Control Board of California.
Well, then they can see it's shit.
They can see how bad it is. I always wondered that. They put the Air Quality Control Board right next to a convergence of a few freeways.
The biggest major freeway in...
Look at all those red lights.
405
Look at all those red lights heading back to where you have to go.
I know, right?
Fantastic.
I brought my son for carpool.
Yes. Oh, yeah, your son is here. That is
the boy Aiden. Say hi. He's here. He's wearing his Mario hat. So this is We Should Be Better at This. Follow me on Twitter, Chris_Donovan, and Eric at Sinatra's Rat Pack.
At Sinatra's Rat Pack,
and
yes.
What have you been up to, man? You started a new gig.
I did. I started a new job. I am a buyer.
Okay.
A buyer.
Okay.
So
I'm a seller.
My wife is also a buyer, but she doesn't get paid for it. She just goes out and buys things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm a buyer, and I get paid for it. It's like, honey, you have to figure out how to do it like I'm doing it.
Yeah,
where
right.
I'm buying, but I'm getting paid to buy.
I get a salary.
Yeah.
Okay, so what the hell does that mean?
I still buy alcohol. I'm in charge of about 41 locations up and down the West Coast and a few states. And I am in charge of all the alcohol that comes in and out of that building, of all those buildings.
That's my dream job.
It's
because most
a lot
of them would
minutia.
go out into my car.
Yeah, it is a lot of minutia. It's a lot of small stuff. But I was thinking about something. This is something I wanted to talk to you about on this. So I now work in an office. I have an office. I have they're not really secretaries. They're clerks, administrative assistant kind of things. They're not really secretaries. They do more than that. And I work in an office with about a company's headquarters, right? So it's like the headquarters of a company. There are about 300 people that work in this building.
Wow, it's a lot.
Okay. I've never worked in an office before.
Lucky
ever.
You. That's great.
I was thinking. I was breaking this down with my wife. I've worked in the sales field all my life, so I'm out in the sales field. I'm doing things out in the world.
So you've never had like a home-based desk?
A home desk, but you're
just
never
at home?
Yeah, but you're never at it. And then I thought, okay, the closest I ever got was I worked at a bank. And I was a loan officer at a bank.
Guessing that didn't last long.
It didn't. I mean, when under the reasons for why this person wants this loan, you would always just write drugs. They really don't like that. But I worked at a bank.
You get a loan, and you
get a loan. Everyone's approved. It's not my money. What do I care?
You caused the recession.
And by the way, I actually was working there right as the recession was going to hit. So
that's hilarious.
But even in that one,
okay.
I didn't deal with any of the bank tellers. Didn't deal with anyone on that side. I dealt with like 3 people that worked in the loan department. I wouldn't even really call it an office. I had a desk.
Should I ask what bank?
Washington Mutual.
Oh, fuck, I hate that bank.
Yeah.
Now it's Chase.
It's Chase. But the other thing that I found interesting is not having to work in an office all my life. I've really been insulated to any of the problems and issues that happen at an office. So, for instance...
Like glitter on your desk?
Like glitter on my desk. What is it true? You've worked in some offices,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they really have birthday parties like 3 times a week?
Yeah. And
it's always someone's birthday.
Or they consolidate and do one for everybody that week. And there's always somebody that has a birthday, and they have to go throw glitter on your desk, which always pissed me off.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it. Gets in the keyboard.
So I made the attempt of I didn't give out my birth date to HR.
Okay.
So I'm trying to hope to avoid that.
Wait. Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter.
Okay, I've been at this job for about 2 weeks. No joke, I think we've had to celebrate 8 birthdays.
That's 4 a week.
Yeah.
It's good average.
Yeah.
A lot of cake.
That's horrible. It's a lot of cake.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get old. Like, how special does your birthday feel when you had one 2 days ago that everyone clapped and sang a stupid
You're like,
song?
Hey, sing to me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a really funny story about that. When I started my last gig, I was working there for maybe a week and a half. And then the conversation about birthdays came up. And I'm new, so nobody really knew anything about me yet. And they're talking, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, listening. They're like, hey, Chris, by the way, when's your birthday? And I'm like, today. And they're like, shut up. And I'm like, no, seriously, it's today. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And they go, why didn't you tell anybody? I'm like, I just started working. And
I don't know anybody.
So then my assistant opens her desk drawer. Within a minute and a half, she hands me a card. I'm like, what? I go, you have these at your beck and call? She goes, yeah, I got a handful of them. I'm like, all right, you're a good assistant.
If you have that many birthdays where you have to have cards on hand, like you have a card stash. The other thing you can maybe explain to me as someone who has worked in an office, do I have to pay attention to like days like Secretary's Day and all that kind of BS? Like, I'm not a guy who pays attention to those, like today's National Donut Day and all that kind of crap. But they have Secretary's Day, right? Do I have to actually do something for that?
Do you have a secretary?
They're technically a clerk of mine. I have 2 clerks.
Okay. I know.
Like,
Bosses
I'm not
Day.
big on celebrating things.
I know bosses. I know. Well, except for April Fools.
April Fools is the best day of the year, and I understand Christmas, and I kind of get my kids' birthday because they're kids. But like even Mother's Day, which by the way is next week, I didn't.
Oh shit! Mother's Day's next week.
Yeah, and I haven't done anything for my wife. Am I supposed to do that too?
She's not your mom.
Right. But there you go. That's another thing. My kids are supposed to do something. They're lazy bums. They don't have a job.
Get a job.
Get a job, losers. Okay, so I have to do something for Secretary's Day, most likely, right?
Well, no. You have to wait to see if they do something for Boss's Day first. If they do, then you have to do something.
Okay. What about... So... You drive on the road a lot. I drive on the road a lot. I get road rage. I use certain fingers on my arm and finger, and I use in between the index and the pinky. I use that finger a lot. Well, now driving into work, I might be flipping off a coworker, so I can't do that anymore.
Sure, you can.
I can.
Yeah.
That's okay.
What's it matter?
I got to work with this person.
So?
Hey, there's the guy that flips people off and uses foul language.
You think you're going to be on the 57 freeway with your coworkers? There's not 17 million other people
when we all come in around the same time.
Yeah, everybody goes to work at the same time in Orange County.
Yeah, it's true.
They're either dressed like Mickey Mouse or they go sit in an office.
Okay, here's another one that I've never had to deal with before.
All right,
lunches.
Oh God,
couple things that happen with lunches that I've noticed in my brief 2 weeks. Cliques, office cliques.
Yep.
People who work in the upstairs don't hang out with people who work in the downstairs, and certain corners of the office hate other corners of the office. So there's lunch cliques.
Yeah, do you ever...
Like high school.
Do you have the ones that go sit in their car and have their lunch by themselves?
Yes.
Yep.
Or take a nap in their car.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, that is actually quite nice.
I know.
But what about office lunch, like lunch politics in a way?
Yeah.
Hey, so-and-so, we're all going to go get food, and you're going to ask 5 people, but you're not going to ask that 6th person.
Yes.
Hey, we're all going to get lunch. Do you want something? But they skip over certain people.
Yeah. I mean, It's just like high school. It's exactly like high school. You just gotta go, oh, okay, not part of their group.
But unlike high school, I can't skip. I gotta be there. Hey, I think that's the secret. That's the secret to adulthood. That's the secret to adulthood. You can no longer skip.
You can no longer skip.
Right. When you're a kid,
you call in sick.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're a kid, you could skip. You could skip life's tough moments. When you're an adult, you're forced to be in those moments.
Well, that's because it's free school and they pay you to work.
Yeah. The other thing that's kind of cool that I'm enjoying so far about working in an office, I have my own fridge in my office.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Fridge in my office is
but you
quite
don't
cool.
Drink that much.
But I can now because I literally am a buyer for alcohol, which means someone can say, "Hey, Eric, today we're tasting tequilas," and I could say, "Yeah, throw that in the fridge. I'll have some later too."
Okay, call me.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
That's pretty fantastic.
I'll be in your office tasting tequilas.
Also, just the ability to bring food and like have my own refrigerator. No one else is keeping their stuff in that refrigerator. No. That's my refrigerator.
And that's cool because usually, if it's a community fridge, people take shit. Like I was working at my job for probably 3 weeks, and I put a salad in there and I let it sit for a couple of days, and it was just one of those prepackaged salads you get at a store. Somebody ate it.
See, and that to me is like punishable by death. Yeah. Like if you steal food, I'm pretty upset at that.
Oh, yeah. That's why you spit in your own food.
Yeah. And you write on the box, I have spit in this. So working in office is interesting. I'm still learning about it. I'm sure we'll talk about... Oh, speaking of, this is a great little... this is called Segway. I am Captain Segway. Speaking of working in office...
You're wearing the hat and everything.
I am.
Wait, that's the Captain Morgan's. Put your knee down.
Oh, okay. Something else I read in the news, speaking of working in office, companies are thinking about banning handshakes at work to avoid lawsuits because they want to ban all physical contact.
Yeah.
So they say that part of that will be banning handshakes altogether. What is your thought on that?
I think that's very stupid because the handshake is something that it's just two hands. It's not any other part of the body. Now, if you shake somebody's hand and you put your hand on their shoulder, or you shake somebody's hand and you grab it with the other hand, kind of like thing,
but
then
you
that
can learn
so
much from a handshake.
You can.
I mean,
I've learned a ton.
Yeah, when you're meeting someone, I judge you quite a bit by how you shake hands.
Yeah, if it's a firm handshake, I'm like, oh, he's a confident person.
But if it's too firm,
then you're like, what a dick.
Now, what about when you're trying to shake a woman's hand where you don't know how firm you're supposed to be? Because sometimes they give you the limp fish.
Yeah. If I get that from a guy, I'm like, oh, great.
Oh, that. I mean, you know exactly. Like right when you get that from a guy,
hired.
You're like, you are so done. Like I've lost so much respect for you, 100%.
You're like, oh my god.
But when you get it from but anyways, the handshake. I don't even understand really how the handshake can be interpreted as anything but professional. It is kind of almost the definition of professional.
I mean, I kiss every female's hand when I shake it, so I've never.
Do you do the finger rub? Do you do the finger rub on the palm?
Do the pinky one?
Yeah,
no, I don't do that. That's gross.
I mean, I've been doing that for years. I wondered why I get that look.
I do look them straight in the eyes, and I'm like, hi. Yeah.
So, is this just a product of how Sue happy our culture is?
This is how dumb humans are.
Right.
Basically.
I kind of blame human resources. Have you ever met a human resources person that was worth a damn? Like ever, in any company you've ever worked for?
Yes, because I had issues at one of my jobs. But beside that, I really don't.
But did that human resource officer actually do anything to really help the situation and solve the problem?
Got my boss fired.
Oh, well, then actually is pretty good. Okay.
So that one was good.
I've worked a bunch of jobs.
But no offices.
But I've never had an HR person that ever did a damn thing. And I'm thinking this is just a cop-out by the HR manager saying, we're banning all handshakes. That way I don't have to do anything.
It's just a shrink that can tell on you is basically what it is. Oh, here comes our food. Aiden, move your stuff. Woohoo, food coming. All right, so
Aiden here ordered a grilled cheese and fries. We did discover that Aiden and I do have the same palate.
I'm stealing a French fry.
We both like to eat the same foods. Thank you very much.
And Eric got some nachos.
I got nachos with no sour cream or guacamole because it's disgusting.
They cut that jalapeno long ways. That's badass.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Yummy.
And you didn't get any food. You just got beer, which is your food.
I ordered food.
Yeah. Okay.
You have a gravy boat full of salsa.
Gravy boat. It actually is served in a gravy boat. I didn't notice that. A gravy boat full of salsa. That is my new band name.
Oh,
when I start a band.
That'd be awesome, right?
Yeah.
Where you going? I'm gonna go see Gravy Boat. Oh, salsa, yeah. And then you play like folk music because it's not salsa music. You want to sit at the table and eat? Zip up your sweater.
It's cold. This is California, buddy. This isn't cold.
California. You can eat here or you can sit at the table. Sweet. All
All right, and then
That
Chris
looks
got
yummy.
some buffalo
Ooh,
sliders.
Yeah. All right,
Those look
so-
like good fries, too.
Yeah, they are scrumptious. You
quality
cannot
fries.
have any.
Quality fries.
All right, so what are we doing?
What about you? You got anything going on?
No. Nope. Usual stuff.
Are
Talking
you
to the wife.
are you dead yet from all your sleep deprivation?
Not yet, but I'm trying to catch up as much as possible. I am waiting for the summer months where I can sleep in a little bit more. And my kids don't annoy the shit out of me. Like, make me lunch. Where's my backpack? Take me to school.
I know kids are the worst, right?
Horrible. But no, nothing really pressing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last week we mentioned that we were going to talk a little bit of the bingeable shows.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited about this. So let's do the movie thing.
All right.
Oh, hooray for Hollywood. It's really got me. Hooray, 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 hooray for Hollywood.
That's a helicopter flying in that air quality stuff that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I don't trust air that's invisible. I like to be able to see the air that I'm breathing.
Oh, you can see a
which
lot
is
of
why
it.
I like smog, because I can look right at it and say, "Okay, smog, I know what's going in my lungs."
That dragon scares me.
Hey,
Oh,
speaking
that's
of
Smaug, sorry.
Oh, smog. Hey, speaking of, do you have a Game of Thrones recap that I will not understand or appreciate?
I do. Quick 2-second Game of Thrones television show HBO recap in our movie segment. They had the battle. A bunch of people died.
Isn't every episode a battle?
No. Now, it's the between battles. They fought the dead, now they're going to fight the living. So, it should be
And that is
interesting.
because all those Walker people died, right, in the last
Correct.
one?
They killed the Ice King, and that killed everybody. Spoilers! And that made them all go away. And
I heard that hot Game of Thrones talk here. I heard that there was a continuity error in the last episode where a Starbucks cup found its way onto the show.
yeah, it is. It was played out as the Lord of Starbucks, which was a castle near them. Opened up a new coffee shop, and that's what they were using. I'm sure she would have used the Giant's milk. You don't get the reference because you don't watch the show.
I don't watch
but
the show at all.
people listening right now are laughing their ass
They're
off.
thinking that's
They're
hilarious.
like, it's not Kramer, it's Giant's milk. But anyway, we did talk about doing the bingeable shows.
All right.
Which I think's
Now,
gonna
what about the? Let's first lay down a definition of what we deem a bingeable show. Like, how would you define a bingeable show?
a show that is good, and watching it in succession makes it better.
Now, this is a relatively new concept when it comes to shows and movies, because
Correct.
up until even just a few years ago, you really couldn't binge watch a show. Now, the only
Unless
ones you
bought
could
the
binge
DVD
watch,
on seasons.
well, or the only other one you could binge watch is when I Love Lucy would be on, and they'd have 8 episodes in a row
yeah, like a
or something
marathon.
like that, because you didn't have access to it like we do now. Now you could throw on Netflix and say, I'm going to watch an entire season of a show tonight.
Yeah. Do you remember the first show you binge watched? I can tell you mine and where I was at.
I want to hear yours.
Mine was Heroes Season 1.
I think mine was The Sopranos, because we didn't start watching till season 2. So I bought season 1's DVDs.
see?
I binged watched all of season 1 with the wife. We binged watched season 2 as it was happening because we caught up.
Yeah.
So that by the time season 3 came, we had watched like season 1 and 2 in like a point of like 3 months.
And
like,
you were
in
like
the-
all up on it. You're like, you knew the storylines. You were very fresh.
And I think that's another big feature is knowing the storylines because you're watching them so much in succession.
But also, it makes it so they don't have to put a storyline in every episode. So some episodes are throwaways.
I also would add into the definition there, a bingeable show has to be something that you could watch years later and still get the references and still get enjoyment out of it. I mean, for instance, you mentioned Heroes. If you put on Heroes right now on the TV at this Holiday Inn that we're at, you could sit and watch it and go, oh, yeah, I love this episode, and watch it again.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It was just like you said, we bought the DVDs. Evelyn's parents were watching it. My wife's parents were watching it. We went to Vegas for the weekend. We were staying at a friend's house, and we're like, can we just stay at your house and not go out? And they're like, yeah, what do you want to do? And we watched all, 12 episodes or whatever it was back then. And that was the first one we binged. But some really noteworthy ones, like honorable mention, I would say all the Marvel series is on Netflix. Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, all those. Very bingeable. They have a lot of throwaway episodes, and I think that's what makes it. So instead of making an hour-and-a-half movie for The Punisher, they do 10 episodes, and it could have fit it in an hour and a half. So that's why they're honorable mention.
Yeah.
But there's other ones like ones we watch at the house, Planet Earth, Blue Planet, all those ones that have the animals and stuff. We put those on. My most recent one I binged was Cobra Kai, one of my favorites.
Now, what about, before we get on to our official list, what about bingeable movies? That movie that when it's on, no matter what channel it's on, you're going to watch it.
Andy Dufresne told me one time in Shawshank. That's one of them.
Shawshank is one for me. For me as well, every single Lethal Weapon movie. If Lethal Weapon is on TV, I will watch the hell out of that movie. And sometimes TNT will play like Lethal Weapon 1 and 2 back to back. I will watch both of them.
Nice. I would say like Con Air. Oh my God, there's a bunch. The Rock. All the Hobbit, all the Lord of the Rings, Armageddon. Armageddon's one that's always on.
I would say that, and what's funny is, if you notice, we're not mentioning dramas. We're mentioning these popcorn flicks that are cheesy, sometimes totally like not the best. I don't want to say not the best made because they're fun movies.
Yeah,
fun movies. So a fun movie is bingeable. A show can be more serious and be bingeable, but a movie almost has to be fun. No one's like, hey, every time Schindler's List is on, I watch the hell out of that.
You're like, I love the Diary of Anne Frank.
Well, for me, as we're getting started on this journey of bingeable shows,
throw some honorables out.
I'm going to throw one that is. I've mentioned this guy before. I am learning to paint just like him, but Bob Ross. And the reason I say that is his voice is so gentle and he's so calming. It is the best show ever to put on and fall asleep to. So what I'll do is I'll put on a show, I'll watch one episode, and then as the second one's starting, I'm starting to drift off. His voice, the sound of the brush hitting the canvas, all of that. But he paints happy trees. Every episode is the same, but yet every episode is slightly different enough, so there's a comfort in it. And I could watch 4 episodes in a row.
Plus that hair.
The hair is pretty fantastic.
Oh man, he's like the only white dude that could pull off that fro.
So that would kind of be my honorable mention.
Okay.
Another one, and you kind of mentioned it too, is Planet Earth.
Yeah.
And Blue Planet and all of those series. I call them background TV shows.
All right, that's the same conversation I had with my wife yesterday.
There's something that you can put on. The kids are doing homework.
Yep.
You're maybe looking through Twitter or whatever, and you're still interested in the show, but you're kind of half watching it, half listening. But before you know it, 3 episodes have played.
Yep, that's like MythBusters for me.
MythBusters
Chopper.
is a perfect example.
American Chopper. I need to show my son Monster Garage where they built those crazy things in like a week. Oh, dude, you'd love that. They built a rocket car. Yeah, you have to see. I saw it in person once. So yeah, so those are definitely background bingeables. Again,
now
you're
what
not
about
going to miss in the storyline because the tiger's still going to kill that caribou.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of what makes them so bingeable, and they're great repeat watches. You know, I could be like, oh, I've seen this episode before.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
but the quality is so good with those shows. It's ridiculous with the 4K and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh. And have you ever wondered how those people get those shots? I mean, I've watched some of the behind the scenes, but they have to camp out. It's like, hey, you know, listen, I got this picture of a hummingbird flying in midair. Did that guy have to wait there for like 4 days to get that shot?
Not even a hummingbird. How about, we got the polar bears in their den. Like, okay, one, how?
I don't really want to be in a polar bear's den.
I know, right? So it's like, what the hell? So definitely agree. So, all right. So let's not say top 3. Let's just say
these are the ones that are definitely like my top of the heap.
Right.
I'll just say that.
All right. So I'm going to throw one out there and
go ahead.
Making a Murderer.
Really?
Did you ever watch it?
I've watched it, but I would have never thought of that one. Why is that bingeable for you?
We binged it because it kept the storyline conducive. Like if it would have been week after week, every week we would have been like, what was happening last time?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So because it stayed all fresh in your mind, you were caught up in the story.
Exactly. So the story was a lot easier to understand, because there was a lot of like cop talk and judge and jury and all that stuff. So that one for me was better bingeable than one episode a week.
Now I've noticed that people also will binge podcasts as well.
Yes. Oh, God, yes. Yeah.
Speaking of, you can download our podcast on Apple or wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can go to our website. We should be better at this.
That's right. .com, and you can
binge the hell out of it.
Binge everything, because, you know, my titles are awesome.
Now, yeah, so maybe I would have never thought of that, but that's really interesting. You're right. You keep kind of in the flow of what's happening.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, that's what happened in the trial. Let's see what happens next.
I got one.
All right.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I don't watch that show.
I can put that show on and watch a rerun of almost any episode, and it's enjoyable to me. And even though I've seen every episode, and I've seen every episode probably
Still
like
good.
6 times, I love watching it because the jokes are still funny.
Okay.
The crass humor is still funny. And it's always on either Netflix or Amazon Prime. It's one of those ones that it never gets taken off.
It's like The Office. Have you seen The Office?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we never watched it when it was live. We binged it. My wife binged more of it than I did over the last 6 months, and we finished everything. And that one, same thing. Jokes are still relevant. Again, you're in an office now. It makes more sense.
And you realize how well written it was.
Oh my God, yes, and how smart it was. So that's another one. One I want to throw out that I did with the family, which kind of falls in that Marvel superhero one, was The Umbrella Academy.
And that's relatively new.
It's on Netflix, and it's one of those ones where they could have done an hour-and-a-half movie, but if they stretch it out through 10 episodes, some of those episodes are going to drag a little bit. But if you binge it, those episodes don't feel like they're dragging, so you keep going. So, I mean, it was a good. All the kids liked. I watched it first to make sure it was appropriate.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I told them to close their eyes. The one scene, but other than that, was good. So it was like a superhero movie that didn't know they're superheroes.
So another one for me that's been pretty big that I can binge watch is The Golden Girls. Let me tell you why.
Do you have something out for them?
No,
You like older women?
No, it's a fantastic show. The characters are fantastic. You never think that a bunch of like 60-year-old women would be super entertaining to watch, but they're
relatable.
all fantastic. And I love the stories. And what's funny is my wife had never really seen an episode until like 5 or 6 years ago.
She's also 20 years younger than you.
Well, I marry young. I marry young Latinas. She had never seen really an episode until about 5 or 6 years ago, and I introduced.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
It to her. She watches it so much now. She watches it as she's falling asleep. It's her fall asleep show.
Oh, so you turn
And then
on
so what
Bob
happens?
Ross
So she
in one
goes.
room
So
and
she
you-
she goes to bed earlier than me. So she goes in, puts on the Golden Girls, falls asleep. I come in. The Golden Girls are playing. I turn off the Golden Girls, put on Bob Ross, and then I fall asleep to it. And that's kind of our basic.
Fall asleep to Happy Trees. Happy Trees.
Happy Trees. Happy
That
Trees.
was just a whiff amount. Just a whiff.
What's another one you got?
Breaking Bad.
Okay, still a show that I have never seen
Really?
anything except for I watched the first episode. I thought the first episode was fantastic,
Yeah.
but for some reason I never watched another episode.
Every episode feels like the first episode. It's so good. Every episode it's not a cliffhanger, but it's a really good part of the show. And so to watch it in succession quicker would make the end of each season more intense, I think. So I started watching it again.
I recently saw an online poll of which TV shows had the best and most satisfying ending.
Okay.
This was one of those. Breaking Bad was one of the shows that got voted as, everyone seemed to love the way it ended, the way it went out.
Great. It was so good because, and now they're doing Better Call Saul, which is a spinoff. So a lot of the characters that were in Breaking Bad, it was like a prequel kind of Better Call Saul. So that's one of my favorites. Like I said, I just started re-binging it.
It'll probably be one of those shows I visit, and I'll probably binge so that I could just watch a bunch of seasons in a row.
Okay.
So another one that I have that's really bingeable for me is The Twilight Zone. I don't know if you ever got into the Twilight. I'm not talking about the new one with Jordan Peele, which, by the way, for how much of a Twilight Zone fanatic I am, I don't watch network TV, so I literally have not seen one of those new episodes. I don't watch network TV like at all, except for The Simpsons.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
But and Bob's Burgers, and that's about it. But the Twilight Zone is unbelievably well written, and in a world where now you have a writer's room and there's 27 writers on a TV show.
Yep.
Yeah. The Twilight Zone had like 4 writers, and it wasn't 4 writers working together. Each writer would write their own episode.
Yeah.
They had like something like 230 episodes. Rod Serling, who would do the introductions at the beginning and the end,
Yep.
he personally wrote like 175 of those by himself, which is, you would never see that today.
When I was younger, it was watching that and then Mission Impossible. Like, they were back to back.
They're so well written. They're topical even today. They're unbelievably well made for their time.
Yep.
And it's one of those ones that they sometimes put them Thanksgiving and New Year's. They're always on TV where they binge like the top 20 episodes.
Yeah.
I watch that. But because I don't like commercials, I put them on Netflix.
Yeah,
it's
right.
a great one to watch when you don't have anything else to watch. And so Twilight Zone for me, and by the way, has one of the greatest, we talked about theme songs before in a previous episode. Why don't you go ahead and play it? It has one of the best theme songs I've ever heard.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now, my kids know that.
Even though that was made 50 years ago, they still know it.
But now the Tower of Terror is now Guardians of the Galaxy. So, I mean, they moved on, but still. I think the top one on my list, there's a lot of them, but Shameless on Showtime. It's now on Netflix.
Really?
Oh, God, dude. It's
Never
great.
watched it.
Oh, my God. It's such a good movie. Or show. It's
William H. Macy,
William
right?
H. Macy. There are a lot of cameos. It's got the girl, Emma... God, I can't remember her name. She was the girlfriend to Jake Gyllenhaal in like the day after tomorrow or wherever it froze over. She is amazing in it. It's got a bunch of kids that were coming up and comers. The one redhead kid went over. He's the Joker on Gotham. So it had all these people on it. It's really good, and it's about this family that's just poor, and their dad's an alcoholic, and they had to raise themselves. And it's their challenges and stuff, and it's like 8 seasons.
Is it an hour show or a 30-minute show?
An hour. So it's really good. So if you get a chance, just try one. If you have Netflix, you'll be hooked after one episode.
And William H. Macy is a fantastic actor, too.
And they accentuate things a little bit. Like, they'll wake up and they'll walk outside, and the dad's passed out on the steps trying to crawl inside the house. And they'll be like, wake up, man, and then just walk past him and go to school and stuff. And, like, one of them turns... I mean, it's just really good.
See, and that's... honestly, I could actually see myself getting into that show before Breaking Bad, only because that show, to me, sounded less, like, serious, but still with enough comedy in it.
Shameless?
Whereas Breaking Bad's
very intense.
It's very intense.
Yeah, it is.
And sometimes intense is not what I want. Most of the time when I'm binge-watching these shows, it's at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like binge-watching something intense and then trying to go to bed.
No, Shameless is one of those ones like, oh, my God, they just really do that? That is freaking hilarious. So,
would it be something my wife would like?
Yes. Not appropriate for children at all.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got to watch it after hours.
Well, my wife is childlike.
She is 20 years younger than you.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep saying it.
All right. No, now time for... So that was your number one?
I would say that's tied up there with a couple other ones. Yeah.
All right. My number one, and I want you to play the theme song from this because it is another one of my all-time favorite theme songs.
Okay.
The X-Files.
All right. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Now, what's funny is if you really want to compare it, The X-Files is very much in the same vein as The Twilight Zone. So they are very similar shows, which shows you, I guess, what my taste is. The X-Files was the original... you've heard of shipping characters, where you try and get two characters to hook up?
Mulder and Scully.
Mulder and Scully, that was the original shipping. That's actually where it came from. It was the original shipping. I find that show super fun. It reminds me of... they're not afraid to take themselves a little less serious than a lot of shows would. They would sometimes do really campy, silly shows that they know were silly and fun. And then they would do other times there was adventurous shows. Sometimes it was very throwback sci-fi-ish. But I like how every episode stands on its own because it would be quirky and not relate to other episodes.
Exactly.
But then also there was a through line where you followed the story for all the episodes, Mulder finding his sister and Scully's cancer and them looking for extraterrestrial life. There's certain through lines, but then every once in a while they would throw... I listened to a talk. I actually went to an event where Chris Carter, the writer of director and producer of X-Files, I went to a talk that he did at the Egyptian Theater in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Where he spoke about the X-Files. He said he loved to do at least twice a season what he called his Monster of the Week episodes, where it would reminded him growing up watching TV, when there's only like 3 channels and they would put on some really cheesy sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
He purposely did, I'm going to do a show episode about a werewolf or something, but I love that they never took themselves seriously. They were willing to take risks. I thought... Talk about perfect casting. David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson were amazing in those roles. I could still watch it to this day. And in fact, I just recently started re-binging all the episodes starting from season 1. I'm in season 2 right now because I'm starting from the beginning. I'm going to watch the whole thing straight through in order.
Didn't they bring it back like last year and did like a short run?
Which was cute. I mean, the episodes were okay, not great, but the characters are so lovable and likable that it was a totally watchable show.
I saw David Duchovny. First time I saw him on a show was Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
That's right. So I thought it was funny. He played in another show called Californication, which is about a guy an actor-writer who has sexual problems where he needs it. He's addicted. Yeah. That was a true story because David Duchovny really has a sexual addiction and has a problem.
That's nasty. I don't even know that about him. Too many, never mind. Maybe he got probed by aliens. I don't know how it works.
Well, that would turn me on.
Well, that's good because I never watched that show.
You never did.
It wasn't.
Well, was it something? Does it something that interests you?
I just never. It came out when I was right out of high school and stuff.
Yeah.
And
no, in high school. This is like mid '90s.
Oh yeah. So then it was during high school, and I didn't really have TV. We had network TV, and that was it. And we had the antenna hooked to a 30-foot wood pole above our single-wide trailer that we had to go outside in the middle of the winter and rotate just to get The Simpsons.
Yeah.
So it wasn't worth doing it.
I would do anything to get The Simpsons.
So
that's it. That's our bingeable shows. Do we have anything else?
I think I got a couple more honorable mentions.
Okay, yeah, honorable mentions.
Unbreakable. Kimmy Schmidt's really good.
And that is very bingeable. You're right.
Yeah, it's really funny. Any of the CW shows, Band of Brothers, I binge watched.
Band of Brothers is a fantastic one, and you're right. That's very bingeable.
Yeah, it's just really long. Each of them are like an hour and a half. Sons of Anarchy is another one I had on my list because it starts slow. Like, I told my wife, I'm like, we're going to watch a show. She goes, I don't want to watch a show about a white biker gang. I'm like, shut up. 2 episodes in, she's like, I love this show. So it takes a little bit to get going, but once it got going, it was really, really good. And that's about it. Okay. Yeah, that's what I got.
If my wife had a voice here, she would say Sex and the City and an Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. That's what she would say.
My wife would say The Office and Master of None.
Another show I've never watched, but I heard is good.
I heard it was good too. I just never watched it.
Do you watch how? While we're on the subject, what percentage of the shows that you watch do you watch together with your wife? So like you guys are watching it together, and how many is she watching on her own?
I would say 80% we watch together, 20% we watch on our own.
Now, we're a little higher. We're probably like 95%.
Yeah. I mean, there's only a few, but just because I have 12-hour days commuting.
Yeah.
She's at home. She'll turn on she watched every episode of The Office. I probably watched maybe half.
My wife, she binge watches that show Chuck. She just recently
the serial
got
killer
it.
one.
No. That's Dexter. Oh, by the way, Dexter. Dexter would be a fabulous one. If you've never seen
that
it,
one.
Dexter would be you could skip the final season because it was trash. Season 3 with John Lithgow might be my
God.
favorite season of any episode of any series ever in history.
Okay.
He was the Trinity Killer. He plays the bad guy, the Trinity Killer. The best season of any show I've ever watched.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it.
Okay,
All right,
so
there you go.
let's move on to a little SMRT.
I am too smart. I am too smart. SMRT. I mean SMART.
All right, I got 2 of them for you here, Chris. First one up.
Office birthday parties.
Office birthday parties and how much I hate them. For 100, Alex.
He's dead.
There's a video store. First of all, there's a video store. That's pretty SMRT right there,
shoot.
right?
I'm guessing Florida.
When was the last time you went to a video store?
I don't know, but I want to open one where it's like really small and there's like only like 50 movies, but there's a secret door for a bar. It's like a speakeasy. That'd be cool.
That actually is a good idea. Then they have to rent a certain movie to get into the back.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Bowling Bimbos from Buffalo or something?
Yeah, something like that. David is Dallas. So, woman goes to a video store. A rare woman in our SMRT.
Yeah.
No, this is very man-centered. Woman goes into a video store. She uses her loyalty card. She gives her phone number to give her loyalty card, picks out some videos, and rents them. Okay, so far so good. She then presents a note that says, "You are being robbed. Please empty the register."
Okay.
So the cashier complies.
Oh, God.
Gives the money. Lady walks out. About an hour later, she gets a knock on her front door because she used her loyalty card, and they knew exactly where to go. And she rented a movie. And the funny part of the story is at the end of the article, it talks about how they also dinged. So she went to jail, of course.
Well, duh.
And then they also dinged her for late for being late on the because she was in jail and couldn't return the videos.
How many late fees did she acquire? Back in the day, kids, when there was video stores, if you rented it for like 2 or 3 days. It depended on how long you rented for. If you turned it in later, there was a charge of each day.
So I worked at a Blockbuster Video. I was actually arrested in a Blockbuster Video.
Probably the same one you worked for.
Yes, it was. That's a story for another day, kids. Do you remember the slogan, "Be kind, rewind"?
Yes, and then they sold machines that just rewound the tape.
Do you remember that? So explaining that to my daughters, it like boggles their mind. Like they have no concept of, wait, what do you mean rewind?
Yeah. Well,
Like they understand DVDs.
Which are great because you can choose chapter to chapter. By the way, Eric's dying right now.
I'm choking.
So this might be our last podcast with him as a co-host, and my son will jump in.
Yeah, Be kind, rewind. Blockbuster Video.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
How many memories? All right, what else?
Here's another one. And I want you to play this clip.
I'm eating my son's french fries. Hold on.
All right. There was a fight in Akron, Ohio.
Okay.
Excuse me. And this fight was over something very important. Life and death. It was over gas station hot dogs.
Was it a 7-Eleven?
I don't know what gas station it was, but
that might be
that
might be fighting rules.
Here's how pathetic this story is. There was one hot dog left on that little roller thing where the disgusting hot dogs have sat there for like
they
9
taste
days.
So good at like 2 in the morning.
Oh, at 2 in the morning it's okay, but this was not 2 in the morning. It was like 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, stupid.
2 customers wanted them. 1 customer got them, so they went out to the parking lot and fought over gas station hot dogs.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
What is the...
I'm guessing this isn't women this time.
No, this was
men.
definitely men. This is not something women would do.
Yeah, right?
What is the dumbest thing that
Women
you would
never
ever
fight
have
over
gotten
wiener.
into a fight for, or that you almost got into a fight for?
Dumbest thing I've almost gotten into a fight for. Oh, good God. Probably a girl.
Yeah, but girls, I mean, men fight over girls throughout history, throughout time. That's not dumb. That's common.
I know, but it's dumb. No, I'm just kidding. Geez, I don't even know. I don't talk religion or politics with many people because that usually gets people
Yeah, that can get people riled up. Yeah.
Even my parents, even my in-laws, we have conversations, and I'll be like, I'm going to excuse myself from this conversation because it'll lead to that. So I don't know if that's a dumb thing.
I once got into a fight in the 8th grade.
Oh, good God.
Because the guy, I was new to the school, too, which was just more, talk about making it tough on you.
Yeah.
I was literally, I think, a week into a new school. We had just moved. And a guy said I had made a weird noise in class. Now, I don't remember making a weird noise. My humor was definitely above making fart sounds.
By then.
Yeah. But,
can I get one more, please? Thank you.
One more beer. Yeah. He had accused me of making a weird sound.
Weird sound? What was the weird sound?
He said he just described it as a weird
So he
sound.
wanted to fight you after school?
No, right after class. I walk out of the door and he sucker punches me, and then we fight right there. And I was a weekend. They didn't even know my name. They called me the new guy. They would say, "Hey, this guy got into a fight with the new guy."
I've been there.
Yeah,
they're just trying to. It's like turf wars.
Turf wars. This guy just wanted to fight and come up with an excuse. But that would be the dumbest thing I ever fought for.
I think I punched somebody in the face one time because I was tired of being called a certain nickname. If that makes any sense,
right?
Like in stride. Hey, what's up? Whap, face, walked right out, got in my car, drove right away. I was a junior in high school.
Got in your car? Wow. So that wasn't like
my land yacht, my Plymouth Satellite. Probably late 80s, 87.
Oh, that's a fine automobile, sir.
That car's longer than that freeway. So that's probably what it was.
All right, what else you got? Is this time for the list?
Oh my God, we are at the list. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I wonder who wrote the book of life.
All right, so the list is a list of people that we are allowed to have.
And be careful, there are little ears around.
Yes. So how do I do this? It is the list of people that we are allowed to play tag with.
Yes.
It's a good one.
Play tag with.
Yeah. And we won't get in trouble by our significant others.
Right, because I personally really like to play tag with my wife.
I love playing tag with my wife.
Yeah, I love playing tag with your wife,
especially
too.
like midday. Like a nooner.
A nooner tag.
A nooner tag.
Little noon tag is fun.
Yeah, or like morning tags are fun, too.
I tag my wife all the time.
As soon as we can, like even in the car.
Sometimes we play tag 2 to 3 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
I'm Italian. So
Are you?
I have Italians are really big on tag.
I'm quarter Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what that means. Which quarter? Anyway, so you get the point.
You all get the point. It's called innuendo.
Yeah, people on my list are like Nev Campbell, Genevieve Hewitt. On Eric's list are a bunch of sport athlete people's wives.
Yeah, I do like that.
This week I'm going to add Rihanna.
Why? Because she has an umbrella, Ella?
No. It's because she's Disturbia. It's another song. No, just because I've always had kind of something for her. The only thing that's kind of petered off was the tattoos. I'm not a huge tattoo fan.
Really?
But then she has her own lingerie line. I saw those pictures, and I'm like, yeah, okay, she's back.
A woman who has just one arm, like, kind of sleeved.
That's okay.
That, to me, is really, really good.
But she has it, like, between her cleavage, and it's, like, weird.
It can definitely go too far really fast on a woman.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, there's a certain, like, level of tattoo that's good and attractive, and then once you go over that line, it kind of crosses.
And I'm saying do whatever you want to do. Like, that's what you want to do, that's fine. Some people look great with them. If I would have started getting tattoos, I hate needles, I would have not stopped. I have a very addictive personality.
I think I have about 13 tattoos.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh. I
have on my left arm, I have Frank Sinatra. I got
Your
Sammy
boyfriend.
Davis Jr. on my right.
Your girlfriend.
I got an Angels tattoo. I got a deck of cards. I got a martini glass. I got a bunch of stuff on there.
Your vice.
Right.
Yeah, no.
But what's really odd is I have your wife's name tattooed right here.
On the smaller back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just says Evelyn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
See, that's a funny joke.
Yeah.
Is what you should have.
Because I just got... Never mind. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it.
Fantastic.
My son's listening now.
All right. Mine is, since I like to be topical, we talked earlier about my bingeable shows.
Uh-oh.
Blanche
David
Dubois.
Duchovny.
Blanche Dubois from The Golden Girls. And let me tell you why. She was the hypersexualized one of the Golden Girls, and I loved the way she talked. And even though she was an old lady, she looked like someone who could, when you're playing tag, rip you apart.
Now,
and it was a running joke of like how many men had heart attacks while playing tag with her.
What was her real name?
Rue McClanahan.
And she was the... She was the one that was very active.
She was the one. She was very active.
Yeah.
There was always jokes. I mean, the running jokes in the episode would just always tell you about how much she liked to play tag.
I like it.
She had a mirror on her ceiling.
Oh, wow. Maybe she had a ceiling fan that had stuff on the top side.
So she could see where to clean.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
That's why I was there.
So I think I'm really into someone who has experience and who really knows what they want and knows how to deliver it.
Well, you've only been with one woman your entire life.
My entire
that was
life.
Your wife.
I've never loved or played tag with any other person ever.
No. Happy Texas. I'm getting a call from Happy Texas right now.
Happy Texas. That is a movie.
Is it?
A Happy Texas is a movie featuring
Happy
the old
Gilmore.
No, who was the old guy that was in like every movie?
John Wayne.
No. He
Gene
just
Hackman.
recently died.
Clint Eastwood.
Happy Texas came out in
I Am Spartacus.
1999. It was an indie movie, and it had Steve Zahn in it.
David
with
Duchovny. Oh, I love Steve Zahn.
Dude, it's rated 81% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Pink champagne. From Joyride with that one guy.
Oh, it has William H. Macy.
Ooh, from Shameless.
Yes, and Steve Zahn. I can't remember. There's another guy in there. Oh gosh, he just died. He plays the old guy. He always looked the same age. It's gonna bother me.
James Earl Jones.
The whole drive home, that's gonna bother me.
You're gonna text me at like 3 in the morning.
He was really skinny. He played the old man. He had a skinny face.
Oh, last Stanton.
Jerry Dean Stanton.
Yeah, Jerry
there
Dean
it is.
Stanton,
Ha! You got it.
Yeah. He was in the first Avengers.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
It all comes together. All right. So you picked
Rihanna,
and I picked Rue McClanahan, better known as Blanche Dubois.
Is she still alive?
She is dead.
Oh well, that's
the
gonna
entire.
be cold.
You know who the only
Cold
surviving
tag.
person is Betty White.
Yes.
And she is like 99.
I
She's
love her.
still acting.
Yep.
She has been acting since the early 1950s, and she is still acting.
She's amazing.
That is amazing.
My favorite role with her, and it's Lake Placid, where she feeds a cow to a crocodile.
That is hilarious. She is a pretty amazing woman, and maybe I'll pick her next time. But for this time, it is Rue McClanahan, who I want to show me around the bedroom.
There you go. All right, let's wrap it up.
All right.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter, Chris_Donovan.
And you can follow me at Sinatra's Rat Pack. Be on the lookout for my book. My second book is due to drop any day now on Audible.com. Coffee and Cigarettes. Be on the lookout. Alcohol and Cigarettes, read by a Canuck.
It's going to be great, eh?
It's fantastic, eh? Hey, by the way, do you know how they got the name Canada for their country?
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you told me that joke 25 years ago.
I'm going to tell you again. Do you also know how they made a French Canadian?
No.
They hit a regular Canadian in the head with a brick.
Oh.
All righty,
okay,
folks.
All right,
well, come listen to us next time where we babble on about more very important pop culture events.
Correct. We should be better at this.com. Altmixedup.com is my alternative rock countdown show. And keep an eye out for Aiden's Arcade Academy starting soon.
And I thought you were wearing a Red Sox hat,
No,
and I was ready to
Old
throw
Miss
it into the freeway.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'd never wear Red Sox.
That's
hat.
Red Sox is horrible. Can we all agree that Boston is a horrible city?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All
We're
right.
all in agreement.
Every city is nice, okay? Don't be mean about it.
Okay, so Aiden says
Whatever he
every
said.
city is nice.
He's not been to Boston.
You've not been to Boston. Have you ever been to Chicago's okay. Chicago has its
Chicago's
good points.
nice. No, you haven't. You've never been to Chicago.
Yeah. What's
When?
another horrible city?
Okay, we'll talk later. You've never been to Chicago.
You've never even been on an airplane. You can't even spell airplane.
He looks at me like,
Aha! Gotcha there. All right, folks.
Tell him what he's won.
Absolutely nothing.
You forgot to say what is.
All right, we'll catch
All right,
us
we're out.
next time.
Catch you
And,
later.
Chris, drive home safe.
You too.
All right, bye.
Catch you later.
The nerve to say, take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. A woman done left and took all the reason I was working for. You better not try to stand in my way as I'm walking out the door. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Take this job and shove it.